The next part of the Reformation topic we're going to look at is morality. So the key questions I want you to make notes on are, number 1, what were the motives behind Augustus's moral reforms? Number 2, what measures did he bring in? And number 3, to what extent was he successful? So a bit of background. The Romans traditionally lamented their moral decline. So the mos maiorum, or the way of the ancestors, was held up as an ideal, and the present day was always seen as a deteriorated state of this. And so by bringing in morality reforms, Augustus hoped that he would restore the appearance of the old republic. And by being responsible for restoring these past traditions, there was obviously a lot of propaganda value for Augustus. Tradition was also associated with religion and the support of the gods, and it would gain him the support of the senators, and they tended to be conservative in their values. So his morality reforms, by doing this, Augustus aimed to restore Roman family values and increase the population of the upper ruling classes by encouraging citizens to marry and have children. So there were financial incentives to marry, there were rewards for having children, and penalties for young men and widows who did not marry or remarry. Adultery was made a public and private crime, and so it would be punished by banishment, confiscation of land, and even divorce or death. He also restricted manumission, which is the freeing of slaves, and the granting of citizenship, and a dress code was enforced, meaning that men had to wear togas to public meetings. So these, a lot of these morality laws are known as the leges JULIAE, or the Julian laws, and here are a few examples. So the Lex Julia de Ambitu in 18 BC penalised political bribery. The Lex Julia de Maritandis Ordinibus, also in that year, prohibited marriage across class boundaries. The Lex Julia de Adulteris Coecendis in 17 BC punished adultery. And the Lex Papia Poppaei, in 9 AD promoted having offspring within a marriage rather than out of it. Consequences of these reforms, they were quite unpopular. As you can imagine, it was Augustus effectively meddling in the private lives of his people, which he wouldn't think would go down well. Despite this, he persisted, and the reforms remained. But the only person we really know to be prosecuted under his reforms was his own daughter Julia, who was found to be adulterous and banished. And this was a real blow to Augustus privately and publicly, as he went against everything he was trying to do. So, key questions. So the motives or causes for Augustus's moral reforms, the measures or moral reforms themselves, and to what extent was he successful. So if you've got any questions, bring them to class and we can discuss them there. See you then.